Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyers Guy, and welcome to another edition of Timmy's Nostalgia Showcase. I'm your host, Timmy Flyers Guy. In my last episode, I talked about the NES. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Super Nintendo, also known as the Super NES. My introduction into the world of the Super Nintendo came from my cousins, Gregory, Paul, and Jay. The Super NES. I remember my Aunt Ellen loved this system, and her favorite game was Super Mario World. I remember watching her play that game, and just being very interested in the game. I tried to play it myself, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. There were a lot of games on the Super NES that I really enjoyed playing. But before I get to that, let's talk about some of the most iconic games for the system. You had the packing title of Super Mario World. You had Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. You also had RPGs like Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy VI, and the Dragon Warrior games. You also had your iconic sports titles such as Madden and the NHL series. And you also had great games such as Mario Kart and the first ever game, first ever 3D game for the Super Nintendo, Star Fox. Not only that, the Super Nintendo was iconic for its home port of the original Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat 3, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat. And also its iconic video game Super Mario RPG released in 1996. This system also had Street Fighter Alpha 2, a very obscure version of Street Fighter Alpha 2. And this system also had peripherals such as the Super Scope, which was the Super Nintendo's version of the Zapper gun. And you also had the mouse, which you could use to play games, use to play the video game Mario Paint. The Super Nintendo was an upgrade to the NES. The NES was an 8-bit system. The Super NES was an upgraded 16-bit version of Nintendo. This gaming system was incredible. So many great memories of this gaming system. Playing this at my cousin's house in Los Crocier. The video games for this system were some of the most iconic video games. They even have home ports for arcade games such as Final Flight, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, Cyborg Slam Masters, and also the smash hit Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, which was one of the most superior versions of that game. I always remember playing good video games, sometimes not so great video games. But I really enjoyed the Super Nintendo. There's some more games to talk about. Because in 1996, this system was still going strong. Even with the arrival of the PlayStation and the arrival of the Sega Saturn, the Super Nintendo's lifespan lasted until 1997 to 1998, when the system was officially discontinued. But this gaming system left a lasting impression on my childhood because it expanded my adventures in the gaming and expanded my horizons into gaming as well. There was a chance in my life I floated up buying a Super Nintendo. I even had the money to buy it. But instead I opted out and bought a copy of McDonald's Treasureland Adventure for the Sega Genesis. I really regret not buying my own Super Nintendo. I really would have had a lot of fun with the Super Nintendo. During the time I had the Sega Genesis, but the Super Nintendo was a breath of fresh air and a different experience for me altogether. I liked the Sega Genesis, but the Super Nintendo, it was iconic for its time. And one of the best gaming systems of the 1990s. A system that came out, a console that came out in 1991, had a lasting impression all the way into the year 1998, when the last game released for the Super Nintendo was Frogger. That's right, that was the last game for the Super Nintendo. After the Super Nintendo was discontinued, in 1996, they were working on a new system. This time, this system would have 64 bits, and this gaming system would be the N64. But before I thought it would be the N64, which would be the next gaming system that I'll be talking about in my next video. Interesting fact about the Super Nintendo. In Japan, it was called the Super Famicom. Super Famicom. And it came out in 1990 in Japan. The Super Nintendo made its way to the US in the year 1991. I'll never forget the memories I have of this gaming system. The memories of playing Super Nintendo with my Aunt Ellen and Super Nintendo with my cousins. I'd like to dedicate this episode a loving memory to my Aunt Ellen and my Uncle Jerry. I miss them both so much. I still wish they were here with me. I still wish I had an opportunity to be able to play video games again. But unfortunately, due to my disability, my ability to play video games has expired. I'll always cherish the times I spent in Wilkes-Barre with my Aunt Ellen, my Uncle Jerry, and my cousins. Guys, thank you for joining me. But before I go, I also forgot to mention that in 1996, the Super Nintendo came out with the Model 2 gaming system. This was an improvement from the Model 1, as this game was packed in with the packing title, Super Mario RPG. In 1998, the system officially was discontinued to make room for the next edition in the Nintendo 64. I'll be talking about that in my next episode. So guys, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. In the next episode, I'll be going from 16 bits to 64 bits in the next episode. Guys, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. I'm not going to have any music for this video because this video was in memory of my Aunt Ellen and my Uncle Jerry, who lived in Wilkes-Barre. They then moved to Louisiana in 1994 and lived there ever since. So there should be no music in this video, any background music. I'm just going to keep it like
Introducing the next generation from Nintendo. New Super Mario World. Created especially for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a bit more exciting, a bit more challenging, a bit more graphic, a bit more colorful, a bit more realistic, a bit more levels, a bit more secret, a bit more enemies, a bit more friends, a bit more sound, a bit hotter, a bit cooler, a bit weird, a bit more revolutionary, a bit more Mario, a bit more of what you want. It's 16-bit, and it's yours only if you get new Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
Let's go racing! It's Super Mario Kart Funny Car Madness! Only on Super NES! Turn the track into a giant mud pit! Or burn rubber on ice, wood, or asphalt! Fly! Mix it up with the big boys! See Bowser in his Bigfoot-chopping truck! See Yoshi's go-kart really go! Mushrooms, banana peels, turtle shells! Dynamite! Check your rear view and make him eat dust! Or go into battle mode and ruin his day! 2 speeds! Fast and way too fast! It's 2-player fun on the split screen! Only for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System! Now you're playing with power, superpower!
He's back, he's here, he's Mario. No, he's the new and improved Mario in Super Mario All-Stars. So much Mario is a Mario smorgasbord. It's all the way down Mario Brothers adventures you ever played and then some. But this is juiced up 16-bit only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mario. So it's bigger Mario, better Mario, in-your-face Mario. It's Raccoon Mario, Mario throwing fireballs, Mario hurling turnips, Mario negotiating an arms deal. Okay, maybe not. It's Mario like you've never seen him. What's 2 plus 2 Mario? What's the capital of Ohio? Mario. You're gonna live, breathe, eat, sleep Mario in Super Mario All-Stars. 4 complete Mario games, including the never-seen lost levels. You can't get more Mario than this, which is why the best played.
When is too much too much? To find out, we crammed everything into Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. 60 more levels, massive enemies, huge Yoshi tricks, all served up with the latest graphic technology, Morphmation.
No more.
Sure you don't have room for another little bonus level? Super Mario World 2, only on the Super NES. Still the big one.
Seen a rash of these lately. TMK. TMK. Too much Kirby.
Think you can't get too much of a good thing? Try new Kirby Superstar. It's full-blown Kirby, inflated with 8 Kirby games, bloated with 23 Kirby enemies, bulging with new Kirby powers.
Get him into observation.
New Kirby Superstar, only on SNES. Can your system handle it?
All was peaceful in the Mushroom Kingdom. Till Smithy the sword shattered the star road. Wow! So with his old enemy Bowser and a marshmallow who throws lightning. Are you bought evil wedding cakes and the killer Venus flytraps and recovered the 7 stars? That was freaky.
Super Mario RPG, only on the system that keeps on kicking. Super NES.
Dig it!